Hey, what's up, WCReplays.com. This is Orange doing an audio commentary. Get today's replay paused at the 45-second mark, and we will be covering a game between Thomas and Bly. And today's game is going to be taking place on Secret Valley. And today's game will be covering how to go against a shitload of gargoyles. Because I have actually gotten a few requests for this. And by a few requests, I mean 3 or 4. And my next one will probably be a human audio commentary. So, or probably not. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, pause at the 45-second mark. Basically, if you look at Thomas's base build, he's got his altar on the right side and his moonwell on just to the left of it. And you'll notice he's got enough room to not only let a demon hunter and an archer through, but he's also got enough room to sort of plant his demon hunter next to a moonwell. And tank, just in case he gets ghoul rushed, because that happens a lot on Secret Valley, especially if you're going demon hunter. And the reason you can tell he's going demon hunter, if you're an undead player and you're wondering what to scout for, is he's got the Ancient of War on the left side. Generally, if they're going to be doing Ancient of War creeping with a warden, they're going to do it on the right side, just because they actually want to get level 2. Get the extra EXP and armor and mana bonus that the warden does get from that, and the extra, the extra ability just to be able to fend off ghouls. So you should be at the 45-second mark by now, and we'll get this unpaused in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So basically, with the warden, your main objective is basically to creep to level 3. A lot of people will dual Ancient of War, and they'll set a second Ancient of War either near the Fountain of Health, or sometimes they do it near the gold mine. That one's a little more risky. But with a demon hunter, in this case, what he's really going to do... Oh, I have Fog of War turned off, by the way. I don't know if you guys care. I'll probably miss a couple things because of that, but it's no big deal. But if you're going demon hunter, and you're going to sort of emulate his style of play, which is actually fairly effective, there is no real hurry to get to level 2. Not with your demon hunter anyways. And you're going to see how that plays out in this game. So he's just going to Ancient of War creep the Murloc camp, because A, you might as well get the experience, B, it's not a big camp, and C, it's very easy to do. And you'll see exactly how it's done. So he's going to pull the creep, obviously when his Ancient of War gets into range, and then he's going to focus down the Murloc Nightcrawler. Now, when his Demon Hunter pops, what he's going to do is he's going to actually focus on the creeping. And you'll notice he's setting up 2 moonwells rather early. And what he's doing is now he's sending his Wisp to scout out to make sure, A, he's not going to be creeping the Murlocs himself, and B, he's not going to be ghoul rushing. And then he right-clicks his Demon Hunter to where the undead player will also be going. And basically, from there you can actually focus on your creeping. You'll notice he just eats a tree and focuses down the creeps. It's very easy to do. All you really have to do is set your Wisp on patrol to make sure you're not being ghoul rushed. Send your Death Knight down to the orange creep camp, which is where he will be creeping. Because if he doesn't creep there, he's obviously either silly or camping in his base or being weird. But 90% of the time, if they're not ghoul rushing you or creeping the Murlocs, they're there. Sometimes they will creep the Fountains of Health, but you catch them going to the one on the right, you wouldn't really... you would catch them going to the one at the top, just because if you notice the approach that his Demon Hunter made, he didn't sort of swing below the tavern. So he did a very safe thing in terms of scouting there. He's just started his tech. He's done a 3 Moonwell build. Reason being is, as I said, if he does get ghoul rushed, it's a lot safer to do, and it's a lot easier to fend off. Just because you can keep your Demon Hunter alive, and it's a lot better of a time. So he gets a nice Deado there, gets both skeletons, that's a good 24 EXP. He has gotten a skeleton kill before, so he's got about 36 off of them. And he goes Immolation first. Now the reason he didn't go Mana Burn and start Mana Burning the Death Knight is for 2 reasons. One, if you start Mana Burning the Death Knight and you get ghoul rushed, you're pretty screwed. 2, well, you're pretty screwed because you're going to be wasting a lot of moon juice. 2, he's got Unholy Aura, so mana burning really does nothing until he hits level 2, and it might be quite some time before he hits level 2, so there's no point wasting all your mana and your moon juice trying to get rid of mana that's just going to regen without you. And then he sends his Demon Hunter over to pick up a Staff of Teleportation and a Boots of Speed. I have those hotkeys set on S and E, so it's very easy to do. A lot of people have those set up on grid hotkeys. I don't really care. It's just whatever you're used to. Or you can just click them manually. He goes with a 4 Archer build, and he goes Immolation first. Reason he went Immolation is just because you can actually take out ghouls a lot easier, and your mana burn or evasion won't really save you as much, just because you can't actually force him and his ghouls away. So he's uprooted his Ancient of War after 4 Archers. Wait, 4 or 5? No, he's gone 5. Sorry, my bad, guys. And he's setting up a Huntress Hall. The Huntress Hall is rather late, but that's no big deal. And basically what you do is once you're done with your Ancient of War, you uproot it and you start walking it somewhere until you're going to need it again. And you'll notice he did root it. He's doing some dance with the Death Knight over there. He did root it for a second just because he thought he was going to hit tier 2. And you'll notice what he's going to do is he's going to research improved bows. Right when he hits tier 2, he's going to root his Ancient of War. There he goes. He picks up his Pana and researches improved bows, and right when that's finished researching, he's going to uproot it and start walking it away again. Now, this is a very crucial point in the matchup. It's basically when your tier 2 buildings are going to start going up. So basically, he's going to use his Panda to creep out some smaller green camps. This way he takes less damage doing it. And he's basically going to get some extra experience, not take much damage doing it, and he's going to be able to freely try and scout with his Demon Hunter. And you'll notice he's doing a rather defensive move here, is he's pulling the gnolls, just so that they don't get jacked. And he also decides to not focus them all the way down, because the Death Knight is there, it is level 2, and you can pretty much expect your enemy to get level 2, so you might as well not risk your creeps getting coiled. And basically he shuts down the tier 2 push that an undead player would be making, not only with a decent Moonwell placement, because he's got them sort of around his Ancient of War, which means he can sort of cut off exit routes of ghouls, and he's got his Ancient of War sort of camping out in front of the Ancient of War as well, in case he tries to run that way. Take some extra damage there. But the main point was, he got in a defensive position, where his archers would be right next to the Moonwells, so even if they did get focused a little bit, they wouldn't really go down all the way. And he also made it so that his Panda didn't take enough damage so that he would get sniped off. And the Ancient of War is just going to be chilling. It's going to be heading over towards the gnolls. Basically what he's going to do now is going to chase the Death Knight around with his Demon Hunter, and he's going to be creeping with his Panda. Now he's going to wait until not only his Ancient of War gets there on time, but he's also going to wait until he can get his tier 2 building set up. Whisk gets coiled. That's a bummer, but he is on his way to tier 3, and his second Ancient Lore is going up. A shop would be a nice thing to get up, though. And you'll notice he's put his wisps at this tree section to the south of his base. Very important point. He's also sending them to the left side of the trees. This way, gargoyles can pick off wisps. They will pick off wisps. It happens. But it just makes it a lot harder for them to escape. So you'll notice how he's creeping this gnoll camp. He's going to be sort of chasing the Death Knight around with his Demon Hunter, and he's going to focus one